Hey, happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you got some rest after most of the long week. I got a little bit myself, and I think I'm ready for some more game dev. Just gonna go do a few more checks here in the game, squash a few bugs, get this thing closer to a playtest. The only pathing you'll see in the real game is going to be the master path. So not the pink stuff. It's just this one, the white one, which can be toggled on and off. That way, if I have any levels that are not visually clear where the actual path is, that way it'll definitively let the player know. But you won't see the ugly stuff like those pink lines. These moons are pretty brutal. They do damage every frame. There's some kind of bug there that was repeating a click sound. Man, collecting the scrolls is like a little bit of a chore. I don't like that. Maybe instead of hovering over each loot item, they should just automatically collect and go down the way that they do when you hover over it. That would also clear up a little bit of performance because it would get them off of the screen. I think I'll do that, at least for now. So let's see, it should be down here under miscellaneous objects. So right here, basically instead of saying if the cursor touches on it, close that, I will let's see, I need a blank event line here. So we're gonna say repeat for each one, each scroll item. If it has not been collected, then do the thing. Okay, so let's just try that. Now when the enemies die, I'm hoping they just go to the loot bag, the inventory bag. That's probably like a lot cleaner. Think I will stick with that for now. And I'll call it a night. Thanks for watching. Yeah, right. Alright, disable that thing there. Close up that event, and we're good to go. Next, I need to keep going through the different enemy types and various enemy towers. So, let's see. You've decided what you're going to work on, and it's going to be the concept art. Nice. What are you going to work on the art inside of? Well, which tool? Alright, so I think I already tested the ice enemies, but let me test them again. Excuse me, in Clip Studio. Cool. Cool beans, man. All right. For these guys, I need to put a tower way closer to the spawn point, so most of the towers will be able to freeze over, but not the fire tower. Calling the next wave. Let's do the moon tower. So the moon tower does freeze over. Let's see if it reactivates after these guys go away. Okay, there's a problem right there. What is making the click sound? What is repeating? Let's see. This is exactly what I'm trying to find tonight, so this is good. You don't know what concept you should work on, though? For concept art. Yeah, there's a debug log, sort of. It's a little bit lightweight. In fact, I don't think it even saves it. I'm not aware that it's actually persistent. I would need to replicate the bug, so I guess I'll see if I can. For the concept art, well, I mean, you could always explore concepts for the whole world feel, because you've got the world logic running, right? You could always concept art out how you want that to actually feel visually. All right, so let's see if this bug replicates. Oh, that's funny. The moon froze in place, but it's it's still killing the enemies. I mean, that's valid. I think what I need to do is probably delete the moons. I swear, these moon towers are like a bit of a pain. Okay, so it's not unfreezing. And I'm surprised it's not actually killing that particular enemy too. Now it is. It's slowly killing it. All right, so let's see where I freeze these towers. Really not sure why I have that event there either. So let's see. That is for creating the moon tower. That's fine. I need the ice enemy interacting with the moon tower. Right here, I think. So if the variable frozen of tower base is false, then it will animate copies of the moon. But what about if the variable is true? That's what I need to find. Still trying to figure out how you want land to look when it's generated. A base tile with foliage on top of the tiles, dirt and rocks and such. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like exactly the kind of stuff to concept out. Because you could try to create like actual concept art that is not limited by the logic you'll be using. And then once you have something you like, that's at least in the direction you like, you can then work the logic to try to get as close to it as possible. Lots of different approaches, of course. All right, I think I know what's happening here. So let me check one more thing. I think it's setting a boolean to false, or setting a boolean to true. And then I don't really do much else with it afterwards. So actually, I don't like it there. So this is if I switch it over to a moon tower after it's already frozen. So it's a different scenario, actually. Okay, so now it's animated the moons. What is the... Let's see, refresh. Let's look at the tower value. So tower base right here. Let's look at the variable for frozen. It's saying that it's true. I'm going to put a flame tower here to kill them off, if I can. Interesting. It won't even let me. Yeah, I played Starbound. Yeah, Starbound's pretty awesome. I think one of the... I don't know if it was a dev or an artist or what, but I think one of the Terraria guys split off to make Starbound. But yeah, I like it. I like both games quite a lot. And the foliage is nice. The flora and fauna. It was kind of a predecessor to what's more like... well, it's one of those endless universes. Endless universe game, right? You just go out into the space. And it's 2D, of course, but... And apparently my camera's glitching out, too. You know, I don't have my blue light on. I can at least do that. Don't know why my camera's flickering. But yeah, man, Starbound's dope. I wish you could just point at my code and say that's where the bug is too. I've got some ideas though. Let me try unplugging my camera real quick. See if this does anything. We'll see. It's more about how they generated animals and plants. Yeah. Yeah, my camera, I got it for work. It's just a little webcam. I probably should just upgrade to an actual camera, like a camera. It's so goofy. Also, I run a KVM switch, and I have even more problems if I run the camera through that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to look at here for this particular issue is you use your smartphone for the webcam. That works too. I mean, that's honestly, if this one goes out, that's probably my next best option. Okay, let's try. I want to create a scenario here. I want to set the frozen value to true and then not have any more enemies coming out. So I think I'll need to put one of these and then put a moon tower. Okay, so now if I look at the debugger, for tower base, this one here, that is frozen, and it is in fact not going back to false. Okay, so I'm going to add an event here. We'll say if the variable is true, and then I'll do some things. You love changing your PFP. You change your profile pic every other day, dude. Yeah, I think I have the same exact phone. I love it. You have the 5 lenses and 10 times optical zoom. They really say that webcams are pretty much garbage compared to any other kind of real camera, whether it's from a smartphone or like a DSLR. I think webcams are just good because they're small, they're lightweight, wide angle lens, and usually plug into a USB without any extra software. That's about it. You have a Redmi 9A. Nice, nice. What kind of tablet you want? Okay, we're just going to say if there are no more, if the tower is frozen and there are no more enemies, and really I guess this should be not just specific to the moon tower. So let me actually bring this way up here. This should be all towers. If there are no more enemies, then they need to be unfrozen. So let's see, where do we have? Right here. Repeat for each instance of tower base. So again, not specific to any one tower type. We'll say this: if the variable frozen of tower base is true, and if there are no enemies, then we'll change it to false. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, man, that's why we were talking about cameras, because my camera keeps on glitching. It's so annoying. I've already tried unplugging it and restarting it. Restarted OBS. I think my camera's just going out. It does this on my work laptop as well. There we go. I think that's better. Oh, these are not collecting. What in the world? Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, for example, we have a 3/4 frame DSLR. We got that for a whole kit and caboodle, a few lenses. The whole thing was like $700 at the time. But compared to like a full frame camera with, high quality glass, those are easily like 2 to 4 times the price, but the quality is definitely 2 to 4 times the quality. So I'd say you're right. Okay, what is going on with the Scrizzles? I think we got the moon tower decently upgraded there, so let's go back to this. Let's see, the scroll collection. I think those were all blue. Let me double check, actually. I need to kill a bunch of enemies and get some blue scrolls. Let's call in, not the Ghostbusters, but we will call in a smaller and faster enemy type to run this test. And I keep opening too many of these expansions. All right. Right here, let's do a whole bunch of the minis. The red Komodo X. Is that a webcam or a full-blown camera? No, I was gonna say that's a the Komodo threw me off. I've seen the red cams. I get the joke now. Yeah, these are fully modular. I know what you're talking about. I dreamt of having one of these back in film school. Um, yeah, that would definitely be overkill, wouldn't it? I'll put that on my to buy list. You know, for my next lifetime. All right, let's kill some things. Let's see if the blue scrolls don't collect. Not sure I've seen any spawn yet. Oh, there's one. It must be an issue related to either the moon tower or the ice enemies. But I would put my money on the frozen aspect. Okay, well, let's put a moon tower up in there and see what happens. Okay, it's still working. All right, let me make a little note here. Just a little note to myself. I'll come back to that one. It's not that major. It's not like game breaking. It's just annoying. So I'm going to move forward with testing and try to figure out what else needs to be addressed. Yeah, that would be, you know, I bet there are probably some goofy social media people who've used a red for their web streaming. I would not be surprised. You made your own lens flare asset. Sweet. Drop it in the share your work channel. All right, next enemy. It has a black background, so when you use it, you need to apply the screen effect. the shielder enemies here. All right, yeah, I'll take a look here in just a moment. Oops. All right, the flame tower is killing them. I need to change the way they look. As a joke to myself, I made their sprite a particle emitter that's a bunch of kite shields. Obviously, they're not going to look like kite shields rolling down the path. Let's check the holy tower against them. I think it's working. All right, let's change that tower type. Let's go to water. Let it rain. All right, well, there's that sound bug. I muted it, so hopefully y'all aren't hearing that. And now it stopped. Huh. Let's see. What happened? How can I replicate that? That would be... In this particular case, it was when the water tower was spraying down a shield enemy. But I know it's happened under other circumstances as well. So I really have no idea what's causing it. All right, let's take a look. So it's a lens flare. Oh, there was a sound. The game was bugging and it was rapid firing the click sound. Yeah, I muted it the moment it started because it was annoying me. Could it be that every single water droplet is causing that sound to play? I don't think so. That's a possibility, but I don't think that's the case because it also happened with a completely different tower as well. Because it happened with a completely different tower and different enemy type. So it seems like it's something more generic, like maybe a loot collection or some other very common event. And honestly, I don't know, because the things that cause a click sound to happen are usually like, well, the UI buttons. Yeah, these look pretty cool, Blaze. It's like a phoenix or something like that. It's like a solar. It looks like an aurora. I wonder if it happens when I click on the tower, because I think there's a click sound when I do that. Let's see if we can make it happen again. Call in the enemy. Set it to the water tower. Try to change the tower type, see if it can trigger something. Okay, there's another issue whenever we have the moon tower. There's always an issue with the moon tower. Let's add another note here. Oops. I can actually remove some of these. We have endless waves. Waves auto summon. We have that. Arcane bullets are actually fine. We more or less tweaked those last night. So this is what we're working with. Yeah, I've got FL Studio. At least for now I do. Yeah, FL Studio is definitely a Lamborghini of an app, but it does its job well. I mean, obviously. The learning curve is a bit steep. All right, well, I guess I'm going to address this issue where we switch from the moon tower to other towers. Yeah, I think the interface is a little bit funny though, because you're bouncing between the you have the playlist screen, the piano roll, the channel mixer. You know, those, I think figuring out how those interact with each other is a little bit confusing at first. Once you have that down, then yeah, it is really easy to use. And then 100% after that, making actual music is the ultimate challenge. 100%. Or like when I was applying, say, like a distortion to an electric guitar sound, or to an electric guitar instrument, I didn't realize that certain effects would apply to everything in the channel rack unless you do it a certain way, you know? There are ways to work around that. It just didn't, it wasn't super evident to me at first That could be a Cori issue, but I think it's just because there are so many things that are possible with FL Studio that the way they designed it had to be kind of all inclusive. So what I kind of want to do here is just delete. Like I want to call the tower delete function for if we change a moon tower. Basically, excuse me, this right here. So I think I will copy that. Then I'll go up here to tower upgrades. Yeah, no, you definitely can get some analysis paralysis, right? It's like you start playing around and it's like, oh, I could add this effect, and then what happens if I tweak it this way, and what if I, do an octave change or whatever. Yeah, you could just go down the rabbit hole so far and never actually get anything done. So what I'm going to do then is, if those buttons are clicked, so upgrade button. Okay, it's one word. Upgrade button. There we go. Right here. So repeat for each one. Right here. You've got a keyboard, a mixer. Nice. Do you have, what's your background with music? You've got the works, bro. Okay, so I think this is what... I think I already had this idea, and this is exactly where I brought in that event. So... let's delete this one that's been disabled. Mostly dabble. Nice saxophone. I've never played any kind of an air instrument. Not seriously. That should be pretty cool. Look forward to hearing the results of that. At the moment, I'm trying to decide. I might not even use an instrument for mine. I think I'm only going to do atmospheric. I think. If there's an instrument, it'll probably be on the when you go home to like the menu, and it's like your safe space. But I think in my world, it's going to be only dark atmospheric. Even though I'm a fan of instruments. Okay, so tower upgrade buttons is clicked if the Boolean value of the variable being upgraded. What is this under? This is under if there are tower upgrade buttons. And then if it's clicked, then if being upgraded of object tower base is true, then take into account all tower upgrade buttons linked to the tower base. Object tower base is true. So we should have a link to that tower base. We could probably not delete the tower base itself. And then, yeah, just change the animation. Okay, so that's if we go from Moon Tower to purple. You're heavily influenced by... I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. I'm gonna have to check those out, I guess. Lost in Code, welcome. Welcome, my friend. Just squashing some more bugs tonight. Just continuing on the old grind. And then we were also talking about FL Studio, music making, and Blaze's Solar Flare. Oh, okay. Final Fantasy. I can see where you're getting it. Nice. All right. Well, let's see. Anyone have any weekend plans? Travis, I know you're doing maybe some concept art. All right, let's test this out real quick. Actually, hold on. If the variable ID of tower heads is equal to tower base ID. Yeah, so if it's equal. Let's test. Testing going from Moon Tower to Arcane Tower. Okay, so let me double check here. So Moon Tower looks like that. So the tower base change is just retaining the black hole underneath. So if the black hole is stuck to the tower base, do these things. Oh, I don't actually delete the black hole though. Okay, well that should be an easy fix. Let's put it... Let's put it right here. Actually, hold on. Not right there. Not right there. All right, let's try that. Having something not sound like you wanted it to is pretty much the equivalent of buying something online and not getting what you expected. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. And my camera continues to glitch. It is being problematic. And so is my thermostat. It's 64 degrees in here. So I'm just sitting here freezing to death. All right, so that's a Moon Tower. Switch it over to Arcane. Okay, let's see, will the Flame Tower kill that thing off? Okay, did kill it. I also modified the scroll loot to automatically collect. It was just getting kind of annoying on the scene, having to cursor over all of the drops. And I think it'll help with performance as well, to not have them cluttering up and dragging performance and all that. It seems to be working pretty well, although there was one bug I found earlier. So, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... The glitch is a feature, all right. It's a feature. It's probably glitching more frequently now that you said that. It does look worse, I'm not going to lie. I think this camera is at the end of its life. I think... Let me double check. I think I got the black hole to go away. I think I just needed to get rid of a particle that was tied to the black hole. So let's see. There, switch it over. Yeah, the black hole is gone. Now it's just those little dots. Which I'm not even sure if I really want those. It's a sprite, actually. Not a particle emitter. This thingy right here. Really not a fan of the look. It was just a quick little couple of pixels I threw together. But it's called black hole particles. So I just want to make sure that whenever I delete the black hole... Let's see. Did those have... Are these stuck? What did I stick it to? Maybe I stuck it to the base and not the black hole. If I stick it to the black hole, it'll go away by default. Yep, just when I switched, which I used the exact same logic as when we delete the moon tower, and I just added it to whenever an upgrade button is clicked. So, all right, black hole particles. Well, they are stuck to the black hole, so that's interesting. Normally, if they're stuck, and then over here in the behavior, if you check that box, destroy when the object it's stuck on is destroyed, that usually takes care of it. But I could manually take care of this as well. All right, have a good night, bro. Thanks for hopping on. We'll catch you later. Do not have it set to tower base not equal to black hole, then delete. Are you talking about doing like an ID check, like if the ID of the tower base is not equal to the ID of the black hole? Is that what you're referring to? So if the tower is not equal to the moon tower, then delete the black hole. That's definitely the idea. The problem I had in the past was deleting other black holes. So to avoid that, what I've done here is checking the animation, like you said. So we're in this particular case, it's not about building a new one, right? It's about taking an existing tower and then changing the type. So changing the animation. So if I'm changing it to the purple tower, it's doing a check first to see what the old animation was. In this case, 9 is the moon tower. And then it's taking care of the cleanup before it proceeds with the normal logic of creating the purple tower. And most of that's functional. Right now it's just... I have that remnant sprite that I need to delete, which is the black hole particles. So what I'm checking now is if the black hole is stuck to the tower base, and then see, I need to do a check here, I think, for if the black hole particles are linked to the black hole. Because I think I've almost got this. I know there are probably better ways of doing this, but we're very close as far as I can tell. And then after this one, we'll delete the black hole just because we need order of events here. So tower base not equal to 9, then delete should work. Correct. Yeah, it's the moon tower that's giving me the most trouble. Most of the other towers are made up of just a tower head and a tower base. The moon tower has the orbiting moons, which are it's part of the animate an object around another object behavior. So there's that, then there's the black hole, and then of course the black hole particle thing that I have been talking about. So because of all of those extra things, all of my normal tower checks aren't sufficient for this particular upgrade. So let's take a look here. Normally all I do is convert the tower base animation and convert the tower head. The moon tower has a lot of exceptions to that. So there's moon, arcane, moon, arcane. It looks like it's working. Looks like it's working, not twerking. And then go back to the moon tower. If we destroy that, that works. So I think I'm going to use that logic, and because of the line of code you gave me last night, the enemies going back to the original spawn point is working now. So definitely appreciated that little tidbit. All I'm going to do is copy this. And I think I actually have to do some repeated logic here, just because I need this to occur. Well, I need it to occur before the normal logic of a tower upgrade. I could play around with putting this up here. Maybe I could do... I mean, I could literally just drag it up here. Says clicked, or rather do hold on. Let me try this before I just try to say it. Do you ever like, you have thoughts in your head, but you can't speak at the rate that you're thinking the thoughts? So here I'll say if I want the group of buttons. So I'm going to see if I can just lump this in there as a sub event. And then after that, let it do the other checks. I'm not sure how well it's going to work. If this works, it'll apply for every upgrade type. Okay, so it's mostly working again, but it doesn't, it's losing its black hole after I come back to it. Let me check the console. Let me check the debugger to see if there are any on the scene anywhere. It looks like there are not. I really wish they would add a search feature in this little box. Yeah, no black holes on the scene, so that's odd. The black hole is not number 9. That would be the tower base animation. I'm trying to see, because I was thinking that whenever I click the gray button for the moon tower selection, that it was creating the tower base and then the moons and then the black hole. Now that I'm looking at it, because it's been a while, it looks like all I'm doing is creating the tower base and the moons. And then I'm adding in the black hole somewhere else. Like, what in the world was I thinking? Let me search for black hole here. I'm just looking for, oh, I think I passed it. Right there. Okay, so this is where I create the black hole. This is... Okay, so if the animation of the tower base is 9 for the moon tower, okay, so I've got a variable, has black hole of tower base. So if that is false, okay, I think I just need to toggle that Boolean and that we should get a black hole. So has black hole, let me copy that. Okay, so not here, but what we need is here. Actually, under the gray one. So right here, we'll say... Oh man, not sure where it just pasted that. Let's do a new event line. So here we'll say if we're clicking the moon one, if has black hole is set to false, we're going to toggle that to true. Hit OK. And let's delete this other garbage out of here. Garbage. Lost in Code, do you have any weekend plans? Working on any projects? Any new games? Okay, well, I set the Boolean, but I forgot to actually create the thing. So let's see. If it's false, if the variable, where am I here? Has black hole is true. So I got it backwards, I think. All right, I think we're in action now. Mostly. Your daughter's birthday on Valentine's. Oh, that's an interesting day to have a birthday. How old's your daughter? Double present from boyfriend, so win-win. Nice. 16. Dang. Time flies, doesn't it? Like, my son's 10, so it's like 8 years he'll be an adult. So I can think ahead in my life, and it's like 8 years from now is like, it's not nothing, but it seems like it'll be here sooner than later. 8 years of his life is his childhood gone and his adult years come. It's just kind of weird to think about. It's 16 for you. That is pretty nuts. That's very nuts. Well, definitely hoping for the best. I hope she makes it. Okay, I think we're back to... Let's run this again. I think we're back to the same kind of problem we had last night. Now, we solved it last night when the enemies weren't moving back to the spawn point. That was upon deletion of the moon tower, so let's double check that. So I think it's going to suck one in. I delete it. So that worked. That was fine. Then now if I change the tower type, so from moon tower and then say to arcane, it stays there. Even though I thought, I mean, rather, I copied the same logic up into here. So I need to look back into this. So what we did last night was we added in this one little piece of logic. Which was to move enemies to enemies X and Y. Oops. So let's see. Like all of these things are happening. It's deleting the black hole, taking into account all enemies linked. It might be because I'm deleting the black hole before I do that. Let's try moving this. That might be it. I do want it to be a child of if black hole is stuck. So let's try that. I hope it's a quick fix. I like quick fixes. Like, solving one bug always introduces two more, but I want to do that quickly, right? All right, here we go. Switch. Okay, I think that did it. Moon tower. Fire tower. Moon tower. Holy tower. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good there. Thank goodness. All right. What next? Switching from Moon Tower. I guess I could take that back off of there. That seems to be working all right. Oh, if I change the tower while it's frozen. Good question. I think I was looking into that. I'm not sure if I finished. Good question. Let's find out. So let's get the enemies going. Then, actually, hold on. I need the ice enemies. Ah, it's killing him too fast. I think it worked. Let's try it again. Um, right, tell you what, let's get rid of the fire tower. Yeah, seems to be working. Not something I can say very often. All right. Cool beans. All right, I guess let's yeah, seems pretty good. Let's switch over to whatever the next one is. Slime, the green ones. No, fire. Okay. A couple of things wrong here. A couple of things wrong. Give me 1 second. It's really cold in here. The thermostat is acting up. Okay, I am back. Let's see. All right, so problem number 1, I couldn't click on the fire enemies and show their like card. So why is that? It's probably, I don't think it's specific to when they're created. So let me search for enemy UI. How did I spell that? With an underscore. Do I prefer to be too hot or too cold? I enjoy being slightly too cold, like so that I can wear like a hoodie or something. I'm pretty comfortable like that. But if I'm like actually too hot or like actually too cold, because of my thin build, I think I actually thrive more in extreme heat than in extreme cold. What about you? So enemy UI, living on the scene. So right here, cursor touch is on enemy backers. So it should be creating an enemy UI card whenever we click on an enemy backer. Does the fire enemy not have a backer? It should. You prefer cold as you can put on layers, but too hot you can only... Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't take off your epidermis or anything. Not that you'd want to. So I agree with that. What's the coldest you've been in? See, not 5. We need 6 here. So fire. It does have a backer. Enemy backer fire. So is the enemy backer fire part of the backers group? Your wife loves the heat. Polar opposites, huh? Enemy backer fire is part of the group. Why the heck can I not click on them then? Probably around -7. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. So actually, we don't need a tower. All right. So let's do this. Let's... Let's not hide the thing. Let's see if we can see it. I'm sure it's working because I think we're using it for the pathfinding. You're the one guy who wears shorts all year round. Hey, Peter Jackson's the same way, and he made Lord of the Rings, so maybe it's a trait of genius. So if I pause that... Enemy backer fire. What size is this? Is it like a really small sprite? It's not small. 125 by 50 actually. All right. Yeah, I just, I think I'm pretty common. I wear the shorts in the warm weather. Obviously pants in the cold. But where we live, we get a pretty good balance of all the different seasons and temperatures. So we have a pretty wide range. And yeah. Layer issue again, maybe. It might be a layer issue. Although, it Well, it started off by me just trying to figure out why we're not getting a card clicking up. And you should be able to click on something regardless of layer, I think. But now I'm trying to even see the thing. Let's put it on the UI layer. See if I'm just trying to find it at this point. Like maybe it isn't where I thought it was. All right, tell you what. There is in fact a way to find out exactly where they are. So let's go down to the thing. They really need a search function for this. There it is. All right. There are 5 of them. What? Look at that. We have a problem. The X and Y positions are null. That would explain why we can't click on anything. So it's probably not related to the UI issue. It's probably just related to the fact that they're null. They did go to the UI layer. They're on Z order 337. But yeah. Interesting. All right, so over here in the events, enemy spawner red X and enemy spawner red Y. Do we have... Where are those? Those are... Tell you what, let's double check those in the scene as well. That being said, the flame particle should be spawning at the same spot. But yeah, let's see, because I think that little red square there is the one we're looking for. So pause. Enemy spawner. Right here. That's at X40, Y440. Null is a strange one, kind of like my bank account. 40, 440. So yeah, that's it right there. That's where it should spawn. I guess we can put that back. Well, we'll leave it on the UI till we can find it. Okay, so other enemies don't have this problem. Tell you what, let's test it with like... Enemy spawner basic. Which other ones are spawning at spawn right? Okay, so the shielders are going to the same place. The ice ones are going to the same place. The spawner red. I don't know why it's called red. I think I borrowed it from another game, and then I left the naming convention. So worst case scenario, I just copy one of these other ones and then retrofit it to be the flame enemy again. I'm not sure what's corrupting it. so we're sticking the enemy backer to the enemy fire. Color name, good for multiple spawners. So yeah, that's true. Well, that's 100% true. I'm just goofy because I've got a color naming convention for a single one of them, and then the other one is just called enemy spawner basic. So you would think I would have like a blue and a green. Just check it has the behavior. Let's see, which behavior are you saying to check for? Health, sticker. Okay, yeah, well, that doesn't look quite right. Let's see about... What do the other ones have? Let's go with ice. Health and sticker. Health and sticker. It seems to have the behaviors. Because if it were out of health, it would be deleted. Oops. And then, yeah, starting health, whatever. Variables. Okay. Oh, just a few more minutes here. We always end the night on a good one, don't we? So what else are we doing? What I'm trying to see is what's the difference between, say, the previous one versus this one. We're creating at the same spawner red X and Y. Just to test, can you add an enemy backer by pressing a key to see if it spawns and sticks? Like have it stick to like a nearby enemy? Yeah, we could do something like that. Oops. $300. Just somewhere right in there. And then you're saying to see if it'll stick to, like, say, a nearby enemy? Yeah. Oops. Did it create them? Hold on, let me look. Tell you what. Create object. So key is pressed, create object. Sometimes it's faster to just log a message than to check the objects panel. Sometimes. All right, here we go. So it says it created it. All right, I guess let's check the positions. Good question. Tell you what, let me try. Maybe I should move them to the enemy position as well. Because I think right now, if they are in fact stuck properly, then they're stuck and they're moving, but probably like way up ahead of the enemy flame particle. So let's see if we can move it. This might get us a little bit closer. And nothing there. Let me try to find the position of these things. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I could use that, or I suppose any of these text objects to track the number. I would like to also see the position as well. We might do both. Might have been way up here. Yeah, it really, really does. I think it's just in order of whenever you brought it into the game. So we have enemy fire. So you would think I brought the backer sprite into the game around the same time. There should be more than 4 of those. Let's go bottom up at least. It's like the longer I look, the harder it is to look. This is nuts. Not to worry, that's what this button right here is for. Give up. Let's see then. So I didn't really determine that there were no instances. I just couldn't find it in the stupid text box over there. Because it should still say 0 if there were none. Just can't find it here. I'm sure I just missed it. Am I deleting somehow? It's possible. I'm going to find out. And I appreciate the hearts, people. Corey Bond Studios could always use more hearts. Appreciate all the support. And we're going to track down these fire particle backers. Let's see. All I need to do is scroll down through here. I'm going to try to find this thing. So enemy backer fire, that's the name. No spaces, no underscores. We found it earlier, right? Because it said null. I just forgot how far down I had scrolled. There should be, at this point in time, 5, because we have 5 enemy fires. 5 enemy health texts, so it should be a 5 in the parentheses. There it is. All right. That is nearly to the bottom of the scroll down. Enemy backer fire. We've got 5 of them at the moment. So those should be at null, X and Y position. Refresh. Now if I keep playing, hit the B button a few times. Should be 5 more. And there are 10 now. So we've got null up top. Okay, they're all null. How bizarre. Like, we literally told it, go to the position of the nearest enemy. Oh, man. Maybe it's corrupted. Yeah, let's try that. And I want to put it on the UI layer so we can see it if it does in fact spawn. So let's try spawning something else. UI moves different though. Does it move differently? Well, technically even those cards, the UI card that I was trying to see in the first place should... So like these are on the UI layer, so it shouldn't move differently. It almost seems like they're deleting or something. So let's take a look here. Scroll way down. So there's only 2 now. They're not at null, but I think it deleted some. There's 6. 11. No, maybe not. Maybe they're just underneath each other. Guess it depends if it's above the default layer. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. So we've got 12 of these on the scene. So if I leave this running, and then now I spawn fire enemies. What was it, 6? Yeah. All right, so let's do an update. And play again. There are now 31 of them. And a lot of them are going to null, which is possibly because they can't find the position of the fire enemies. So there must be a connection. What if you swap this enemy for fire one in the code that works? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. So that would be here. I mean, I could do that. I'd have to swap out several things here. Well, that's basically what I might try in general, is just taking a known working code block here, and then let me take it down here. I think it's a good idea. Let's just try it. Paste it here and then disable the fire version. And just start replacing it. So it'll take a little minute. Let me just enemy fire. So we want to search for enemy basic medium and plug in enemy fire. So conditions, actions. We just want actions. And I'm trying to remember. This won't replace Does the replace function replace everything in the file, or is it going to be one at a time? If you search and replace. I think it was everything. Looks like it was everything. So let's see. Let's not do that. I'll do this manually. Seems like another like minor quality of life inconvenience. If they're going to have that function, you should be able to walk through rather than changing everything in the whole code. That's all right. Let's do enemy fire. Enemy fire. All right, and then we want enemy. Right. So all we're going to do is swap out which objects are created, but keep all the logic of that other enemy, the medium enemy that was working. So enemy fire, enemy spawner basic. Change the position of enemy backer fire to enemy fire.x. And wait, yeah, there. Enemy fire, or backer fire. Timer. Okay. Do one last double check here, and then should be good for the test. Create object, enemy fire at position, enemy spawner basic. So this will be basic rather than red. On the base layer, create the backer fire at position, basic X and basic Y. Change the position, enemy fire.x, .y. All right, let's run this bad boy. So this is number 6 here, and go. Pause. It's not looking good. We're getting null. There are 5 of them, but they're null. So that probably tells us that it's not a problem with the logic of the events. There must be, or there may be a problem with yeah, it might be the particles. I'm leaning that direction. So it is here in the group. Backer points. Oh yeah, let's check the backer points. Okay, so this is... We've got origin at 0, 0. Well, they look proper, honestly. I have an oddball front point. That's for some targeting stuff later on. But yeah, I've got a center and an origin where they should be. Very interesting. Because now if I take this same thing and I change... What if I just change the particle but I keep everything else? Like enemy... ice, even. Let's see. Don't really care too much about this part, but enemy backer. No, that stays the same. We're keeping the backer. We're just changing the particle. Okay, let's give that a shot. Wow, look at that. So if I even show the enemy backer, all I did is change which particle emitter is being used. The backer's definitely not centered there, but they're clearly there and they're working. I have no idea. It seems like an internal engine issue with the particle emitter, somewhere in between the engine and the particle emitter. Too small on start size. Let's take a look. So the ice one starts off at 80 and goes to 45. Start width and height is 9, whatever that means. And then fire starts at, so the height is only 1. Maybe that's a problem. Let's see, I changed that one to 25. Let's see if that does anything. Doesn't seem to. Let's see, G develop. I'm having trouble even searching this exact issue. I'm gonna have to probably, you're saying 1 minus start size. I'm not sure if I'm tracking what you're saying. So 1 minus start size is less than a pixel or equals less than a pixel. Try sticker null. Not sure I'm tracking. You had height as 1 pixel, then start size was 70%, so it was less than a pixel. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, I was hoping that was the issue. But let's see. Even the ice enemy, let's take a look there. So, I mean, that's 80%. And as far as I know, this is the only one with this particular problem. But so that's 99 and 80. Stickers null. I think I'm searching this wrong. Let's go back. Yeah, I'm not searching it wrong. It's just not on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some homework on this, but at least we've kind of narrowed down what seems to be the problem area, right? So that's a good starting point. I'm just out of time for now. So does the additive rendering mess with it? Let's test that real quick. Actually, let me check. Does the ice have that? It does not. Okay, let's run a quick test there. Fire 1 is on. Yeah, you're right about that. Let's find out. Still nothing. Worth a try, though. At least we've eliminated that as well. Nothing else has the delete when out of particles either, though. Let's make it as much the same. If I need to, I'm just going to duplicate one of these other ones and then recreate the particle. I mean, honestly, I just need to take that image, which I think I have that on my desktop. So that'll be the next step. I'll probably give that a shot next time I boot up the stream. So yeah, that's a strange one. Even if I do that, I still won't know what caused the problem. So it's a strange one. But we made some progress tonight. Some adjustments to the towers, and I'm going to call it quits there. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Lost in Code, I hope you have a great weekend. And anyone else watching on the stream, thanks for supporting. And you're saying to wait. What you got? You tried running with hitboxes, etc. on. How do you do that? Is that like a behavior? Do you like draw? It's an action, so it's an action at the start of scene. Draw collisions, hitboxes, and points. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't played around with that. Let's give it a shot. Good call. So we have a whole bunch of stuff. It would appear as though we still only have the particle emitters there with no, like, there's no overlap there. It looks like it's just one thing. Because, which would mean that the backer is off in null land still. Right. Cool though. Yeah, that's definitely worth checking though. Interesting. Yeah, definitely worth a look. I'm gonna think on it, and if I find a solution before the next stream, I'll post that in the Discord. I don't know if you're still on there, but I'll drop it in there so that because if you're anything like me, I know you're going to be thinking about this. Yep. Have a great night, and thanks to everyone else. Thanks to everyone for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Hope you have fewer bugs than I do. Thanks.